Born in Salem, Massachusetts in 1962, Kyle Cooper is an American designer known for having produced and directed over 350 visual effects for both movies and TV shows alike. When he was in his youth, Cooper spent the majority of his time drawing scary creatures, flipping through comic books, or watching the occasional horror flick. Even as a child, Cooper had aspirations of becoming a film director. He had once stated in an interview, "I've always been interested in film and editing, more specifically the juxtaposition of images in film or on a single page. However, I felt it more comprehensive to tell stories over time. Print design can provide great single moments, but I wanted to work with a sequence that had a beginning, middle, and end." After graduating high school, Cooper enrolled into the University of Massachusetts Amherst, where he began to study interior architecture. Unfortunately, the only way he passed was by promising his professor that he would never pursue a career as an interior designer. Cooper had then moved on to attend Yale University, where he had earned his Master of Fine Arts in Graphic Design in 1988. Now with his Master of Fine Arts, Cooper finds employment at RGA, previously known as R. Greenberg Associates, from 1986 to 1988, starting in New York City, then transferring to Los Angeles. It was at RGA where Cooper found critical acclaim with one of his first title sequences. In the late 1990s, Kyle Cooper became one of the film industry's biggest influencers with the creation of his title sequence for David Fincher's Seven. The introduction sequence follows the hands of an unknown man while he writes in a journal filled with book clippings and self-developed images. This gives the audience an inside look at the mind of a serial killer, whom they will get to know while watching the film. Many designers idolized the grunge horror aesthetic Cooper had managed to capture within his title sequence for the 1999 film. As mentioned before, Cooper loved to watch horror movies growing up. However, the monsters usually only appeared within the third act of the film. After watching an early screening of the movie, Cooper thought it was best to secretly introduce the movie's antagonist within his title sequence without completely revealing his identity. In 1996, Cooper went on to found his own business known as Imaginary Forces with Peter Frankfurt and Chip Houghton. Over time, Imaginary Forces had become one of the most successful creative agencies in Hollywood. However, in 2003, Cooper felt it was time for him to focus more on his own creative works. Cooper ended up leaving Imaginary Forces to found a new business known as Prologue Films. Prologue is a creative agency made up of a small team of designers that concentrate heavily on creating title sequences. Cooper claims that his work is heavily influenced by that of Stephen Frankfurt, specifically the title sequence in To Kill a Mockingbird. Cooper also found inspiration from the prologue in Shakespeare's Henry V to name his company Imaginary Forces. Throughout the tenure of his career, Cooper has come to acquire many awards and accomplishments for his work. Details magazine gives credit to Cooper for almost single-handedly revitalizing the main title sequences as an art form. Los Angeles magazine calls him the Da Vinci of main titles. According to Creative Magazine, Kyle Cooper is one of the top 50 biggest and best creative thinkers from the last 20 years of advertising and consumer culture. Wired magazine states, "Not since Saul Bass's legendary Preludes have credits attracted so much attention." Cooper also holds a position in the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, as well as being crowned Honorary Royal Designer for the industry by the Royal Society of Arts in London. Throughout his career, Cooper has managed to receive 7 Emmy nominations and 2 wins. In 2014, he also obtained the Lifetime Achievement Medal from the American Institute of Graphic Arts, with recognition for designing title sequences for film and television with a bold and unexpected style. Some of Cooper's works include, but are not limited to,